What's going on? This is Romey-Mak, and welcome to another. It's been a while, but welcome to an episode of the Locker Room. The guy show where we talk about that man talk, sports, and things like that. Doesn't mean ladies aren't able to listen, but just be advised that whatever goes on here is this is what what guys like to talk about. So yeah, so let's get right into it. My co-host today is none other than that man they call Croombe. So yeah, Croombe, what's happening, bro?
What up, man? You know what it is, bro. You know how I am.
Yeah, definitely, man. So we just watching these these battles, whatever we're talking about. And I think Tay Rock, man. I think he I think Tay Rock basically. I didn't get to watch the third round yet, but Tay Rock looked like he took that one to me. So. What about you though, man?
I just watched the first and second round. I think this was like my fourth or fifth time watching the first two rounds.
Right.
I just started watching the end of the third, but I gave it to Tay Rock 2-1. His second round, he most definitely won, and the first round is a toss-up, but I think Tay Rock had more in the first round.
So who
first I gave it to Hollow the Don, but after watching it multiple times, I can't give it to him. Right.
So who you think been doing this shit? Like as far as battle rap goes, like who is like that motherfucker right now that what I'm saying, you think it's like killing shit?
Briz Rawsteen.
Yes. That is bruh. Man, listen.
Right now.
Briz Rawsteen by far is one of my favorites. I would love to see how they do that 2-on-2 shit. I would love to see like a Loaded Lux and Briz Rawsteen versus whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I feel like that shit be so dope.
I don't even want to see that because him and T-Top always perform good together, man.
Don't get me wrong. And T-Top is dope. And T-Top is dope too, man. I just I really those are just Lux is still my favorite battle rapper of all time. That's just me. And Briz Rawsteen is my favorite right now. I've always been a fan. I'm just a fan of the different styles, you know what I'm saying? Like Hitman Holler. I love Hitman Holler style, the remix shit is dope a lot of times, and then a lot of times it's redundant. Hollow, when Hollow does what he does, you know what I'm saying? Hollow can be, it seems like he'd be kind of corny and then he drop some shit on you and you be like, whoa, you know what I mean? But yeah, but for you, who are the I would say with some of your favorite battle rappers?
Mine is a lot of dudes that people don't really know about that much.
Right.
Like me, yeah, I like the Briz Rawsteens. I like what's that nigga name? Shoot. I like JC. I used to like Daylight, but he loses many battles. He just don't give a fuck. I like Sharon. I don't know why. I like Shotgun. I ain't gonna say I like Shotgun Suge, but his style is it's hard to beat, man.
Yeah.
Then you got a person like him, if he does what he's supposed to do, Shotgun Suge is a motherfucker that's hard to beat.
Yeah.
I like Craig Lamar. Craig Lamar, man, I love his bars, man. Craig Lamar can go with the fence. I'm surprised he's not on URL yet. BK is one of my favorite, hands down. You talking about he done beat all these niggas that y'all call top tier. I like Danny Myers too, but he already beat the Avers. He already beat the Shotgun Shugs. There's a lot of people in the rap game that has not beaten Big K, yo. I'm gonna be real. Like Big K, Chilla Jones was another one of the dudes I fuck with, but Big K most definitely need to be on URL. A lot of people scared to face Big K, man. There's a lot of hype around JC right now, and Big K smoked JC probably about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I also like Chef Trade. I'm big into battle rap, so
yeah.
If y'all don't know that.
Okay. Now, so we hadn't talked about what I'm saying, we hadn't discussed anything in regards to the NBA season just because we hadn't done a locker room show in a minute. But
my goodness, man, goddamn.
Yeah. So listen, let's talk about your Lakers, man. Let's talk about the Lakers and Lonzo Ball. What's funny is I still like Lonzo Ball. You know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of people give him shit because of his pops, but I like Lonzo Ball a lot. You know, he shows like when he gets interviewed, you know, he shows great poise with the media. You know what I'm saying? Like they
They be ready to attack him because
yeah, of course, and he handles that shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give respect to that. And you know, he has a couple games where he'll drop 30 points. You know, that was against Phoenix though. I mean, Phoenix ain't much of anything.
Ain't nobody big, man. That's why I was saying, like, there's a lot of people that put a lot of faith in him and whatever, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I would rather, and this is the way I look at shit, man. I would rather for you to get some legit big man and then work your way out like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand this shit, man, and what Lakers be doing, man. I guess they got him because they thought it was gonna sell tickets.
No, I don't think so. I think that he's actually a pretty good guy. Yeah, you know, for the Laker standpoint, man, I like I said, I like Lonzo Ball. I like the way they're going to be fit. Are they going to make the playoffs? I don't know. But I mean, right now, do you still feel like Kyrie going to Boston was a good move?
Ain't he hurt or some shit?
Kyrie's hurt?
I haven't been really watching like that. I know they what's the name got hurt. Hell no, they want to do move. He wanted to be the star, didn't he?
Yeah, I still think it was a great. For me, I think it was a great move because again, it gives him that opportunity to do so. You know, and he's well equipped for it, man. You know, I think he commands the team, and again, I think he'll do well in Boston. Cleveland and even Golden State Warriors, 16, the 17 champs, they're still trying to figure out their offense. You know, the media's trying to, set them up saying, oh, like it's Cleveland, like is it trouble in Cleveland? Is it trouble in Golden State? It is the beginning of the season. That's what it is. Don't make no mistake. You're going to see the same faces at in the damn yes, exactly. You're going to see the same faces at the NBA Finals. Possibly, it depends. We got to see how well Oklahoma City Thunder plays, and I never rule out Popovich, man. I never rule out Popovich.
Never rule out the Pop, niggas.
So yeah. So I feel like everybody's trying to figure out their chemistry. You know what I'm saying? I remember when Miami, the first year with LeBron, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade, and they lost a few games and they were just trying to figure things out. But now, you looking back on them, they played very well together. They did lose to Dallas in the finals because LeBron didn't show up. But, he didn't come through in the clutch. He was there, but he just didn't come through in the clutch when he needed it. And he learned from that, experience. And, Dwayne Wade taught him how, to lead a team. And this is what they got. They got two rings out of it. Granted, if Tim Duncan makes that fucking layup, it'd be a different story. But I digress, man. That's something that Tim's gonna have to live with that the rest of his life, and all Spurs fans and anybody that wanted to see Miami to lose that game would have to live with that too. But how long do you think before the Lakers return to I would say stardom?
Status.
Yeah.
Yo, I say it like this, man. I got a feeling my boy is gonna leave and go there, man. I got a feeling Westbrook gonna end up there somehow.
I like how you say that, boy. Now, what would you say again? The talk is LeBronzo. That's the little name they're coining for them.
I don't want LeBron.
It's going. Listen.
He going there to try to ruin my Kobe legacy. That's all he's trying to do.
Well, he's moving around. He does play musical chairs when it comes to the NBA.
He got about as much loyalty as fucking Randy Orton, nigga.
As a girl, as a girl in VIP at Live on Sunday, I'd say that.
And he ain't got no loyalty, man.
Now that's not all women. No, we don't get that. Don't misquote that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, on average, a girl that's in VIP, she going whatever's hot right now. That's all we're saying.
The girls that Live gonna kill your ass.
I don't give a fuck. I ain't going back to Live for a while. I'm not going back until I'm headlining, until there's headline or whatever in my state. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we'll work at that. That's what we're doing this for. That's what this grind's for. This is the intern. You know what I'm saying? I'm just learning from my peers, picking up anything I can as we go along. But Yeah, that's what we doing, man. It should be it's gonna be fun. The journey is gonna be fun. Enjoying this right, this stuff, this part right now where no one really knows you and you're able to go places, and then you get to that point where you're not able to go places. And then it's like, I see, obviously you won't be running by Croombe at that time. We'll probably have probably be another name, but
Don't like Croombe, man. Croombe go hard.
all right, well then that's what it is and shit. Definitely gotta get. Yeah, you come down to the city, man. We go out on South Beach and just walk the strip. I can show you all the silly shit that you see out here, man. Like it's nothing like walking on the strip and you see like random ass homeless folks that perform and shit. There's one guy that does like these magic tricks. There's obviously singers. It's almost like going out LA. You know what I'm saying? Like people just trying to make it. And you gotta respect the hustle. You got your muscle bound, dickheads out there that work out. That the Martin say on fucking Bad Boys too. Not able to turn and wipe their ass and shit. They're so damn big. But no, you got the guys that work out though at the gym. I work out out there at the beach. The tourists. You can always spot out tourists. They're constantly taking pictures. And posing in front of random shit that you see all the time on South Beach. It's fun. It's a fun experience, man. I like sitting out there. Me personally, I like getting like a beach chair, bring like a little Bluetooth speaker, sit out there, bump the music that I like, not that shit that I be hearing. Nowadays. I know your favorite artist. What is it, Cardi B? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, for all you Cardi B fans out there, you fucking,
that's fun.
There's no love for me, bro. Everything about her is like a complete opposite of what I stand for. Just
the track again. I'd be lying if I say I didn't rock to that fucking that one shit, and that's all I really know her for. And until I heard,
she only got one hit. And
it's catchy. You got as much as the many songs that I've heard from you. I know you got. There's no denying that shit wasn't catchy. That was a catchy ass tune. Yeah, I mean, even though you said they took it from Kodak Black or whatever.
If the dude did that, y'all be shitting the fucking leg, bro. I ain't talking about years from now, like it was like some old classical hit back then. I'm talking about within a year or two, a year span or some shit. Y'all rock with it. Fine, cool, bro. That's what it is, man.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the song was jamming. It was hot. It was like a summer hit. It's like one of them summer hits. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't see it going any further now. I'm not gonna compare her to Iggy Azalea or I don't know, whoever else got like one joint. But I mean, we'll see. The only time will tell. It's real funny though that she won what is it, the Spirit of Detroit award, and I like what Roy said, you know what I'm saying? Like she ain't even won the Spirit of New York award, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So how she won the Spirit of Detroit?
Y'all need to take that L, bro. Take that fucking L. Don't sleep with that L tonight. Shouts out to College King. Y'all go check his page out. Some funny ass shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know much. I don't know enough about Cardi B, and that's just not my lane for I would say for hip hop. That's something.
VH1 talking about black women was like making fun of like calling y'all roaches. Y'all motherfuckers support that shit. Dark skinned women, y'all dumb as fuck. Holla. Don't man, bro. Oh my goodness.
You calling it like it is right there, bro.
Bruh, man. I just want y'all to know, man. Black women, man, y'all need to love y'allselves, man. Y'all too easily influenced, man. If you talk about like gangster culture and how it affects black males in America, you need to talk about whole culture. It's a such thing as whole culture. When you think it's okay to have slut walks, and you think it's okay for your kids to dress up like Cardi B, who was a stripper, and is blatantly online talking about how many dicks she used to suck in high school and everything else. Good role model for your kids, bro. Keep that shit in mind. Don't ever talk about you want to like how the country should be and about the president and all this shit when you promote that bullshit. So keep that shit floating.
Yeah. Well, that is a subject matter that that does need to be addressed. you know, again, and it's not all women, but you know, all black women, that is. But there is a few that, you know, that you do see, you know, through online and blogs and shit like that. There's clearly, you know, like the Halloween costume says it all when they show them, you know, portraying themselves as them. Like, oh, I saw one just now, today, a lady dressed up as Captain Save-A-Ho, you know, in honor of, you know, Amber Rose and shit, you know. It was like, you know, I listened to Amber Rose when she was on Drink Champs, kind of explaining, you know, the whole like the slut walk and shit like that. And I get the meaning of what she's doing, but how it appears on the surface is a whole nother ball game. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's one of those things where, you know, it's kind of like you don't really judge a book by its cover, but people ain't got time to do that shit. I mean, we live in a time frame where, you know, news got to be spread within a swipe or you know, scroll up in 3 seconds type shit. You know what I'm saying? No one's really like actually sitting there to, you know, to go in depth on, you know, a particular, you know, situation. So yeah, I mean, you know what you like though. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody for everybody. It just so happens that shit is being promoted. And again, you know, once you know, when you see like for instance, you know, Jeff, like let's say a woman like you speak of, that carries himself a certain way, and you see that you're not really attracted to that shit. I mean, again, you see that it's not for them, and they can say, oh, you know, you don't like black women or whatever. It's not that you don't like black women, you just don't like that type of woman. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't that shit kind of bothers me, man, because that is what's being portrayed, and that's how a lot of these younger females and these little girls like see shit now.
Yeah. You know, again, we both got.
You wonder why stuff like Kanika Jenkins stuff happening and all of this. Well, you can't, when you portray it as a positive fucking image, as something good, then what do you expect is gonna happen?
Yeah.
That's craziness, man. It's just like avoiding what's really. It's basically not taking responsibility of some of the shit you do.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely will have to control the image that we portray, at the same time being true to who we are. But there's definitely an impact, you know, of the, I would say, I'm not putting it on. I'm not gonna put it on hip hop, because, you know, hip hop, you know, granted it is influential, but this is where, you know, I would say parents, you know, come into play. For instance, I mean, you know, me and you came up on, you know, what, Adina Howard and who else was like Lil Kim and shit like that. No girl.
I have something to say about it too. Like, it ain't just like this generation. It's been a long ton of generations even before. So when I look at it, when we went in school, man, and let's be real, it was a high, like supremely high pregnancy rate. And then I look at like who they was looking up to, like Little Kim and these females that was doing the same thing, and you wonder why like the pregnancy rate during that time frame was so fucking high. And I'm just like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even. I grew up in that time, and like some dude pointed it out online, and then I was like, you had your Foxy Browns, your Little Kims, your Trinas. These was like role models that girls looked up to, like when I was in school and shit. And I'm like, yo.
I'm not exactly sure. Well, I mean, you know, I think it's one thing to take. Hold on. I hate when that shit does that, man. I had to cut that out. Fucking Jim Ross thing, but
Jim Ross,
but you know, these young ladies, man, you know, and they have to look at it like entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is, not to be taken literal. And, you know, and again, these are entertainers. I mean, there is a responsibility there per se, but more of it's on the parents. But as far as like the artists, and you know, like them being artists, they're, you know, these are grown adults, you know what I'm saying, and doing what they have to do to make it an industry. And as long as if you're being true to you, that's what all this should all the shit matter. You know, the culture that you come from. Just because you came in the game that way doesn't mean you'll leave out that way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jay came in wearing a whole bunch of fucking jerseys and shit, and then by the time he was, look at him now. You know what I mean? You know, CEO, all business suits, polos and shit now. So it's just, it's about growth. You know, but again, getting back to the the message, like for young ladies, us having daughters, you gotta be able to talk with them and just see like and show them like the responses they'll get, because again, Dave Chappelle talked about that shit on his his first stand up, how a girl is dressed in a certain attire and shit, and like it garners a certain type of reaction and shit. You wear a cop uniform and you get into trouble, you run up to the cop. Just because I'm dressed like this doesn't mean I'm a cop, So I mean, there's a great responsibility. Responsibility relies on the child itself, the parents,
but it scares me, bro, when I look online and his teachers having sex parties at the school for like middle school kids and shit, bro. Like it ain't even that shit can't even just be at home now. They bring that shit to the schoolhouse. The teachers, like, it's a new generation of teachers.
I'll be honest with you, man. I see these shits on on the news, and like I remember how I was at that age, and I'm like, man, where the fuck were these teachers when I was coming up? Because probably, but it's a double standard, because again, if
got their phones and shit when they're in school, kids stuff. They have more accessibility or whatever. But shit we did, man.
But real shit though, if it is a double. I would say a double standard for me being a parent, and if my daughter, obviously in something like that, I would probably lose my shit. But me looking at it, that's just me. That's just calling it what it is. Would I be mad? Yeah. Is it right that I wanted to be involved with like a teacher at that age? No, it's not right. But it is, that mindset that, that I had. So it's like, you look at, let's say you have a 16-year-old and you find out he's having sex with like his English teacher or physical education teacher, no pun intended.
And these little people these days be snitching their ass off. They don't know that shit.
I don't understand it.
These little boys is like the dumbest motherfuckers I ever ran into. Damn, bruh. I thought he was done when they was like snitching on themselves on their phone when they do crimes, but bruh, you getting ass and you still snitch. I'm like, who the fuck? That's like me messing with a girl in school, right? Let's just say I'm like a teenager, I'm messing with a girl in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yo, man, I'm gonna tell her parents, yo, that was good. That's how I see these motherfuckers today, man. Like, their common sense is like, hella no, bruh.
Yeah. But I want to get back on obviously the portrayal of I would say the impact that someone like a Cardi B or whoever dresses provocative has on like the youth. Obviously, they shouldn't be exposed to to certain shit or if you're going.
And they niggas running around with purses now because they see these dumbass rappers running around holding fucking purses.
Who the fuck
got? I'm like, yo, bro, that shit is hilarious. Like, they certain styles when I was younger that I wouldn't fuck with because I was just like, nah, that ain't me.
Yeah, it's a lot of, but again, it's like a lot of those guys that, we grew up on when they get interviewed, like Lord Jamar, shout out to Brand Nubian. When he gets, he had his interview with DJ Vlad and he was just talking about like I would say like the attire of like today's rappers with, like the skinny jean shit and all that. It's like, I don't know where they come from. There's like what certain, there's a, like hip hop had like a certain, I would say, criteria. It's like a certain criteria that, that we have, so like, and like skinny jeans and shit, like that shit doesn't really fit it. But it's the new age shit, man. It's what these kids are into. It's what they wear. So, you know, I mean, we're here to say we're stuck in our old ways or however you want to put it, but you know, we were just so used to, or we're used to the type of, you know, I would say the things that we saw coming up, you know. But what we want to jump into. So we on the subject of hip hop, man. We talk about you know, that Crit. You said that Crit album was jumping though, huh?
No, Crit shit is classical. If you hating on that, if you hate on that album, you must not like Outkast or like UGK sounding shit. You just don't like down south type shit. And I tell you, like, I was comparing it to a bunch of albums I've heard recently. I think it's better than Pimp a Butterfly. I think it's better than Eminem's last album. I think it's better than a lot of shit I've heard in a long damn time, man. In a long ass time. Like, I'm talking about, I can't remember an album. I think the last album I heard that I was feeling like really good probably was maybe that J. Cole album when I was in, like, Born Center was fucking, like...
Born Center is still, I promise you, man.
Born Center was, like, hella playable.
Still playable.
It feels like that type of shit, but I feel I'll be playing this album and playing songs off this album for a long ass fucking time, man.
Yeah, Born Center.
Like, we going back, putting on some old, like, I don't even know, like, I go back and play 50 Cent or some shit. I feel like I'm gonna be playing this album like that.
Wow.
Like, I'm gonna go back, put this album in, and I'm like, God, this shit fire.
So how do you rate? Do you still find Damn to be better than To Pimp a Butterfly?
Did I say that?
I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Like, as far as, like, you know, now that's been time since you know the album came out. I mean, for me, it's still To Pimp a Butterfly.
I think I might have did say that, man. Cause like, to me, like, Damn, I didn't really like To Pimp a Butterfly that much. Like, I liked it, but it was like not. To tell you the truth, the best album I've heard in years is a mixtape, which is that fucking. I ain't gonna say the best.
You talking about the EP?
Yeah, I was bumping that fucking Future.
Oh, no.
And, what's this shit called now? The damn, not Purple Haze, but
that 40 Days and 40 Nights shit.
Yeah, that shit. I still play that shit to this day. Like, if I'm in the gym, that's my gym go-to.
Now, you don't bump Cardi, but you'll play some Future. So, I mean, that's how I see it.
I'll bump Future, man. I'm not bumping Cardi, though. But I ain't see Future just straight steal a nigga style and run with that shit like it's fucking, like it's baseball. A song that ain't come out a fucking year ago and just tread like it's theirs and run with it.
Is that it?
Don't copy Meek Mill. Like, I'll copy who I want.
Like, I'll be honest with you. We like What the Fuck.
I'll fuck with Future though.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm in the gym, I'm bumping Future.
We like What the Fuck we like, and
Gucci Man.
I like Shorty's verse on. I like Cardi verse on Motorsport. I don't know who wrote it, but I do know that I like her verse on Motorsport. I couldn't believe when I was listening to it. And that's the newest track that the Migos have featuring Nicki and Cardi B. Which is you know, there's been some speculations of stories behind, you know, how that shit went down.
Yeah, they saying that shit fucking.
Yeah, like what was Joe Budden? Joe Budden said that shit. Like, he thinks that, you know, the track was brought to Migos and, like, with Nicki on it, and then Offset let, you know what I'm saying, Cardi hear that shit, and then, you know, she was upset, and I think that's what, like, the whole breakup shit was. So, and Joe, and this is Joe's interpretation of it. He thinks that, you know, getting back together was her getting a verse on the record and shit. And supposedly Nicki was kind of hot about the shit. I don't know how true. We don't know how true that shit is. Nicki's never came out and made an official statement. But
that whole marriage, all that shit, like I said, man, that shit stays, bro. All this shit ain't real, man. Y'all niggas believe that shit.
I don't give a fuck who they fuck. I don't give a fuck who get married.
I got some oceanside front property in Idaho, nigga. Holler at your boy.
Yeah, well, let me get an acre or two then, shit. If that's the case.
Get an acre of that oceanfront property out in Iowa.
Yeah, well, I mean, all we care about is them musically. That's it, man. So if, like, you fuck with the Migos, you fuck with the Migos. You got more music coming because they're clearly doing that. like I said, the track is dope. The track is dope. It'd be cool, like, you know, at least for like females in hip hop, like, you know, like women in hip hop. It'd be cool to see Cardi and Nicki, you know, share a stage. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole thing.
It'd be cool if dudes actually started battling each other again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you can listen, but
females got together and made groups. When the last time you seen a good female group?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, you know, we can battle each other on a track. Like hell, DMX and Jay-Z battled each other. You know what I'm saying? But it was never like, you know, until Jay became like a CEO, became CEO or, you know, president of Def Jam, where it's like, man, fuck that nigga Jay-Z type shit. But before that, you know, I mean, these guys, you know, they just made music together. That's all it was. It was a battle. It's not like, you know, like for like the way Remy disses, you know, Nicki, and I don't know who started the shit. Don't really give a fuck. But just how
it's good for music though.
It's good for music to some degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times do you need to see, you know, women going at each other, though? You know what I'm saying?
Same thing with dudes, though. It pressures real artists to make good music, man.
But who coming? But of the guys, who's coming out? You know what I'm saying? On like, you know, MTV saying, you know, other than 50 did that shit. 50 did that shit with Ja. Or 50 did it with Fat Joe. 50 did it with, you know, basically that's 50's, you know, his MO.
There was people that was like, at one point, like, you know, there was like crews battling constantly, man.
Yeah, I mean,
under the scenes, there was people who was talking. Ghostface was talking about Nas. Nas talking about Ghostface. Raekwon.
Yeah, Wu wasn't fucking. I remember Raekwon wasn't fucking with Big. I do remember that.
He made good music, man. He made good music.
But do you feel like the criteria? I'm not the criteria, but the level of I would say of women in hip hop right now. Do you feel like that? You feel like it's strong enough to carry that? Like, you know, because you heard the dish.
It's who they promoted.
Yeah,
that's the whole basis of it.
Of course.
There's good female artists out there, a ton of them.
Like Rhapsody. I really do like Rhapsody is dope, man. Oh fuck, got 10%.
Rhapsody is fire.
Rhapsody is that shit, man.
Like the girl that they should have gave the award, like Cash Dog out bars. There's plenty of females out there that can go, my man. They out there. But it's who they promote in this industry that made you think like, what the fuck going on, man? It's always a certain. To me, I feel it's always a certain agenda of who they promote. Like, if you want to destroy something, then you promote this type of thing to the industry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's going on, man. Quality of music is like died. Like, at one point, I wasn't listening to y'all guys, right? And I remember being there like, y'all folks with Uzi and who else I said? The little niggas, little Yachty. Like, yeah. I was like, yeah. But then, like, you see the quality, like, Lil Yachty was just Lil Uzi right now is falling the fuck off. And he's being replaced by Trippie Redd.
Who in the fuck is that?
Exactly. But the machine is behind this nigga. Like, he's showing up everywhere now. Like, motherfuckers like Drake, all these niggas is giving these niggas like shout out. The reason why, man, because I remember this dude made a valid point. College Kid made a valid point. There's no fucking originality no more. You can replace any one of these niggas with another nigga, man. They sound alike. The music's the same. There is no fucking original. You think it's originality?
I said, man, listen. We talked about that shit a while ago, man. Like, it's just how me, you, and Chubb talked about that shit back in 2007. Like, you pick a form. You pick a style of music and you duplicate that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when Jeezy came out, everybody after Jeezy sounded like Jeezy. Then you had Future come out and everybody comes out sounding like Future. That's how it's made. That's the mold that's the recipe that's being used, man. It's like factory shit. And you know, it's like
the crazy shit is the people who copy the recipe don't fucking last. But it's because to the point where a recipe is like duplicated too much. Like I kind of thought when we had like
Yeah.
You know, like, but it's being duplicated now, like, to the fucking extreme. And it's destroying the quality of music. Like, it's giving those who actually are talented and should be pushed, they're not being put to the forefront, man. And I know it puts other people like the guys like Ross, who's over, you know, Atlantic and all this shit. It put them in a shitty ass position to where they have to look for motherfuckers like that.
I don't think so. I think that, you know, hip hop was in a good form. I remember when we heard that Wale was going to like Maybach Music, and I'm just like, well, it don't really fit the mold, but I mean, it could be like his own separate, you know, own separate lane. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like Meek Mill fit more of the Maybach Music based off of, you know, Rick's persona and you know, Gunplay and, you know, Triple C's and all them. You know, the way they,
but I got a question for you.
Yeah.
With that in mind.
Yeah.
We say that he didn't fit, but what if he would have went to a different lane, like he would have went to good music?
No. Not even good. But hear me out though. I'm not saying it would. That was my initial thought when I first heard about it. But like, if you look at, like, let's look at the WWE as an example. You got this big ass brand, and you got various types of, you know, personalities. Like for, let's say, growing up with us, you had somebody like the Undertaker, so like the gothic motherfucker. You had the Ultimate Warrior, who was like this fucking, I don't know, coked out guy talking about the power of the warrior. You got the vitamins, you got the vitamin taking, you know, superhero of Hulk Hogan, and then you got the Macho King. As I'll go with the Macho King era. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's just like these different personalities that fit, but they all tie in to the brand. So I figured, like, well, if they can do that with MMG, like if, you know, Rick Ross was, you know, you got Meek who pretty much got like that street feel. He's like a street rapper, basically. Rick Ross is more like, he's like the flashy cat, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I would say like almost like a Fat Cat Nichols. Like Fat Cat Nichols, you know, was like a rapper, you know what I'm saying? And you know, Fat Cat was a drug kingpin in what was it, Queens, right? Yeah, Queens. But he's just like, his persona is what, you know, is what Rick Ross, how Rick Ross carries himself. So you got these three different types of guys.
Rick Ross remind me, so you said Fat Cat.
Yeah.
Rick Ross remind me of Fat Cat on the Chip and Dale nigga.
Yeah, he do look like fucking Big Fat Daddy.
Like
See,
Fat Cat on Chip and Dale. Y'all
yeah.
know what Fat Cat is?
Yeah, that stupid ass. You remember that fucking song? I wish I have to. But you remember when they did that fucking song? They would dress like they had the fucking chipmunks dressed like fucking girls, and they were singing a song called "Big Fat Daddy See." That shit was funny. That shit was funny as hell, man. But you know, like I just felt like the brand could have been, you know, I think like the presentation should have been a little bit better. I don't think the promotion was spread evenly. You know, I feel like Meek got pressed a little bit more. But Wale had something, I would say, a deeper meaning, and he had that crossover appeal. Because, like, to date, you would have to say that Wale's, you know, best album was the one with the joint he had with, was it Miguel, like the flower shit or something like that? I forgot the name of it, but that was probably like his best. I like
the first one, the one before he went.
The one with girls, the one with girls is my shit. That's probably one of my favorite Wale records, you know, yeah, because it got like, you know, that go-go sound to it, you know, being from the DMV.
Yeah, you know, you from there, DC.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the DMV flavor, man. We got, you know, you gotta love that. And I just feel like they could have done like looking back at, you know, different labels, man. Like as far as like what could have been done differently. You know, Rockefeller. I think that if egos weren't in the way, you know, I would say, well, you know, there's no change in fucking Damon Dash, but let's just say Damon Dash wasn't in the picture, and like Jay was running, Jay and Biggs were running fucking, you know, Rockefeller, and you have that issue with like Cameron and the Diplomats. I mean, you think about,
huge,
dude, like you feel me? Because like you know, The Rock was already big between the Freeway shit. Like, you put on that fucking What We Do at any rap concert.
Me and my boy, me and Squall, Mike was talking about that Freeway album yesterday and how fire
that shit is so fucking dope. And like it fit right in. And then you brought Kanye. You're like, you know, they were on on the decline, you know, as far as like unity goes when Kanye's College Dropout came. And you already had Young Guns that put out that Tough Love shit with that, you know, that Can't Stop, Won't Stop shit. These are bangers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got legitimate bangers between Flip Side with Freeway. You got What We Do. You got Cam with the Old Boy. You got the Diplomats with the Dipset anthem. And you see what I'm saying? Like imagine if egos were put aside and they stuck together. They could have ran hip hop. I mean, it roughly did, but it just could have been, you know, monumental. You know, it'd have been even bigger had, you know, they came together for this shit, man. Because
if you think about the way that Rockefeller was designed and how much like hits they had during that time frame,
yeah,
they could have had their own fucking streaming service with nothing hits by now.
Exactly.
Just off the catalog.
I'm telling, dude, like they were so. I'm telling you, New York hip hop was so prominent, and it didn't sound like down south records. That's another issue I got with, you know what I'm saying, with some of New York hip hop.
College kids got on the same shit about how they fucking bit the fuck out of the South.
But the funny part is, like, again, you got to play the clip. You go back and play the clip of Andre 3000 being on a goddamn stage and being booed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of folk. You know, so it's like, you got a demo song, but don't nobody want to hear it. But the South got something to say. That's all I got to goddamn say about it. And since that moment, that, you know, like, the South has been emulated. You know what I mean? It's like, you gotta give credit where credit is due, because the South has pretty much, honed that whole, I would say, stable in hip hop, man. It's like ridiculous, you know. I mean,
a lot of it, man, got to do with, yeah, you're right. A lot of it got to do with like the downfall of New York working together to make good music, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's ego, bro. All this fucking ego, man.
A lot of this shit went down to the South was working together and giving people in the South tracks they want to hear for a long time, like a UGK and a damn 8-ball of MJG and stuff like that.
Listen, there is nothing. There was nothing better than, like, you know, when Biggie shit dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, think about all these New York artists that came out, and when they had their, you know, their moment, how hard that shit hit. You know, when Biggie dropped, you know what I'm saying? What was it? Warning. When, you know, obviously Juicy and all that. You know, New York hip hop is nuts, man. And even with 50, like, I ain't talking about like the I mean, granted, In the Club was dope, but like those fucking, like, Get Rich or Die Trying. I mean, like you said, man, you can just put that shit on, and like that shit is gutter, man. That is like that Mob. I mean, come on, Mob Deep, man. Let's not even get into it. You know, like Woo, you know, like the Woo. You know what I'm saying? Like that gritty.
But they gonna work it, even if they didn't like some group. Some people didn't like each other. A lot of those motherfuckers work with other artists in New York to like keep New York prominent.
Yeah.
And then they stopped doing it. They just thought like it ain't enough scraps. Everybody in New York at some point was like not liking somebody else from New York.
You know, what Illmatic, man, like literally production. Like, let's go by production. You know what I'm saying? Just that sound that you had. You know, like that. You know, that empty ass snare that you get from like a 50 beat. Like, what's that one shit 50 had on my favorite shit off of the Massacre? What's it? That shit. With the one that starts off with like with the horns and shit. I tell niggas to suck my dick, get the fuck out of my face, cause I don't need them. Like that. That shit is so fucking gutter. Like, that's like a vintage 50 Cent when you hear that shit. You know, of course, man. Or of course, you know, hearing what Quiet Storm, you know, by Mobb Deep, or Getaway, you know, like that gritty sound, man. It's like you missed that shit.
Thing I want to get out, man, because me and my boy was discussing this too.
Yeah.
You look at Bill Bleak was good to a point. He's good. If you put Bill Bleak in this fucking era, he would be running shit right now.
Yep. Yeah.
He was just in the wrong era. He had Jay to compete with. He had Freeway to compete with. Being Siegel, like the label was overstacked over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was Jay's voice. Just like the label Jay had too much talent, bro.
Yeah, he did. He ain't really know what to do with it.
And Myth Bleak suffered because it was too much talent.
Of course.
If Myth Bleak was in this era right now, man, I guarantee him and Meek Mill to have an album out together.
I think Memphis Bleak.
They should be hella hard, nigga.
Memphis Bleak is like the young Dro of Grand Hustle. To be honest, I would say, yeah, Memphis Bleak is like he's like young Dro of Grand Hustle. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Shoulder Lean had that shit was popping. That's a dope record for him to get out on.
Dro got an album out right now for y'all out there who give a fuck.
Yeah.
There's a little thing out.
I fuck with Dro, man. Dro funny as shit though in interviews. that motherfucker is funny.
Nigga in school that always used to joke.
Yo.
Like, you can't take it serious, bro. You be like, Dro, chill, you get us some Dro today.
Dro is a clown. He by far is one of the funniest. He's one of the funniest personalities to interview, man. Yeah, but yeah, that's hip hop.
He was talking about some marrying some girl. He was like, psych. I was rolling on me. Yo,
that dude is a clown, yo. Like Dro got to be he's one of the funniest personalities, man.
I love when that motherfucker get interviewed, bro.
Yeah, man. Well, we're getting closer to the end of the joint, man. So we're gonna end on what we like to talk about, or what most men don't like to talk about: feelings, emotion. You know what I'm saying? Love, bro. And I know you know all about love, man. You got a love for music, got a love for your daughter, just as I do. But just more so just talking about the feelings, man. So like, do you remember the first time, if indeed, I mean, again, you can decline if you want to talk about it, but it'd probably be me talking about it. Like the first time I would say you had your heart broken by a woman.
Yeah, I actually kind of do. And yeah, man, I don't know, man. It was just weird, man. I was probably about 19 and maybe even 19, 20.
Yeah.
Whatever, and I don't know, man. It was just weird, bro. I just got this. No, if you ever watch that shit with motherfucker feel like he said he was in a sunken place, nigga, I feel like I was in a sunken place, nigga. I feel like somebody had that big glass and you just fall, nigga. You be like, damn.
Yeah.
I was in the sunken place, man. Like, you want to move, but you can't move. Like,
yeah.
It kind of felt like that, but luckily, man, I was out in Vandenberg, California with some real ninjas, man. I have my boy Robertson out there, my boy Taylor, and we were the Trouble Generals. There's another name for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they were there with me, man, through the whole process. We went out and party, man. That's exactly what it was. I got over it by partying, and that's probably why I don't like to drink and stuff now, because I was there, like, drinking and partying and all that shit out in California.
Yeah.
Out in them Vandenberg, that Santa Barbara college life with all them people out there and shit. So
college girls, man. College girls.
I got over this shit fast.
Yeah. Well, me, man, I want to say, I would say high school is kind of like when my trust got wavered. I would say my trust got wavered, man. Ninth grade. It was ninth grade, and because again, you think people are just genuine people. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, this is when I first started, having girlfriends and shit like that. But, to walk around and, having folks just come up to you and like, hey, man, I seen your girl flirting with this, flirting with that chick. And you don't want to believe that, that an individual would just, just do you harm on just purposely, But looking back on it, man, we're just young, you know what I'm saying? But just the way you feel when you realize that, you've been good to someone, and then it just, in reverse, it's I I don't know, man. It's a rough one. And then like I would say that was like the first time I kind of just like knew that girls wouldn't be and, it was a reason to feel like you weren't able to trust somebody, and then to to get older and being an actual adult and having a relationship, and again just for someone to pretend to be a certain way in front of you, and then turn around and it's not it's not that it's something, it's totally something different. They don't, or at least they don't feel the way that you thought that they would throughout the relationship. And the representative was no longer there, and then they finally revealed themselves, and then you just decided you want to stay in that shit.
It's always a representative.
Oh yeah, man, and and that's just
2-3 years when the representatives start to show their face when you move in with the
yeah.
With that motherfucker, that's when you start meeting the real motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it's just wild because like love is a motherfucker, bro. Like for real. Like you would want, and this is just perfect world shit. Like you would want to be with, someone who just really is like that rocks with you, you know what I'm saying? Granted, we can argue and all that shit, man, but like, be willing to talk and hear each other's side of, of the story, and figure out, ways that we can get through this shit. But it's a lot of selfishness, both with men and women, you know what I'm saying? That kind of get in the way. There's a lot of pride that, that gets in the way, and you're not able to have these conversations. But how hard is it, for someone that you really can just genuinely care for? You spend time with them. I'll just say from a dating perspective, right here, bro. When you can care, like all you want to do is see this person just do well. You rock with them, but it always seems like the person that they're into is not the same person that you're into, because it's like if you're feeling a girl, she's probably feeling this other guy, or if you're feeling a guy, he's probably feeling this other girl. A lot of cases, and for sure that you can do, you can really treat this guy or this girl right, but they're so fucking blinded by previous shit that has happened to them in their life that they're not able to see that you're right there and you're willing to do that. See, timing is a must.
It's just this crazy shit that be going on, man. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Timing is every fucking thing. You probably on some real shit. You probably met the person for you, and or a person that's been for you multiple times, but there was always a stipulation that kind of prevented it. They're married or in a relationship with somebody. They're I don't know. Well, let's see. They've I don't know. They have so many kids, more than what you're willing, more than your bank account can finance. He's a I don't know. He might even be, he might be gay. The girl might be gay. The guy might be gay. It's always a stipulate of certain personalities that you attract to, man. And it's I don't know. God has a very keen sense of humor. I'll say that, as far as putting us around these individuals that are that are near us, and you realize that it's just not for them. Like for some cases, saying that the individual's too young for me, or she doesn't want to have kids and shit like that. Like there's always some kind of stipulation. So like when you do find love, at least for the fellas, you know what I'm saying, like someone that you really fuck with, you know what I'm saying, that you can really rock with. She understands you. She's not insecure, because ain't no room for that shit in a relationship, man. There's no room for insecurities. Like the way that you love, again, I stick by this premise, man, based off of my past relationship that I just got out of and learned, and learned from, is like when you love somebody, dude, you don't necessarily worry about anything that they got, going on. You know what I mean? It's like, that jealousy shit, You just there's no room for that shit. Like, cause you know it's yours. You know what I mean? Like, I like for instance, like the way you love, you know what I'm saying, your mom or whatever. You know that's your mom. Like, your mom may have like friends and shit. She, you know, but you know that's mom, and that's what it is. You know, like, there's no that type of love that no one can take away. I think that's what, you know, roughly what genuine love is. The love that you have for a child. You know what I'm saying? Is like the type of love you should have for your mate. And like, no matter what, you know what I'm saying, my daughter does in life, I'm always going to love her. I'm going to be upset with them. It's going to happen. But if they ever needed anything, you know what I'm saying, like, my daughter knows that she can call on, you know, me or her mom. You know what I'm saying? That's just the type of love that, you know, I would want my woman to feel. And that's the type of love fuck I want to feel. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, it's so hard in this day and age to find that type of, you know, that type of love. You know what I'm saying? So, and, you know, that's just my, you know, my stance on it, man. You know, you know, Croombe, you more than welcome to rebuttal that, and you got anything different, you know, whatever it is, bro.
Man, I really ain't got nothing to say, man. Like, I just I don't understand certain stuff, man. It's just me. I really don't have too much to say on it.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's fine, man, because again, I'm just at a certain point in my life, man, where I remember where I wouldn't express shit to a woman for fear of being hurt. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm just expressive as fuck. Probably say a little too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, just getting emotions out, or even telling, you know, fellas that are close, you know, that close to me, man. I ain't got no problem telling, you know, my dogs, my brothers that I love them.
I like to tell people exactly what is on my mind, and a lot of the times motherfuckers don't like that shit. I still get in trouble now. Like, I'll tell my wife something she probably don't want to hear. You know, and the worst part is my mental thinking is, I don't care if you want to hear it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because a person that really care about you, they gonna tell you the fucking truth. I might spare your feelings today, but down the line, it's gonna eventually lead to your doom. You know what I'm saying?
I feel it.
You might as well get from me somebody that you're supposed to trust, or supposed to, you know, like, care, then you get it from somebody else later on. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's gonna lie to you, and then later on, you know, it hurts you down the line. That's the way I feel, man. There's a lot of people that don't think like that, and they would rather for you to lie to them than to tell them the truth. It just ain't me, man. I've never been that kind of person. I don't like it. So, it is what it is. Yeah,
wise words from Croombe and Romey-Mak. But yeah, man, that's pretty much the show, dog. You know what I'm saying? It was obviously great hip hop talk. You know, we can talk hip hop all motherfucking day.
Yeah, man.
But
it was more sports stuff we probably should have got into.
Yeah, but that's fine.
A lot of fans and all that shit, but
yeah,
let's take that for the next show, man.
Yeah, we definitely save it for the next show. A little small sports shit. You know, I think I still see Cavs and Warriors at the end of the year. Thank God that 49ers were able to do something great. We got Jimmy Garoppolo out there, and Brian Hoyer he just signed a 3-year deal with the New England Patriots. So that's always fun. And Dandy basically swapped our starter for their backup, and we can use that backup. And we gave them a 2nd round pick. The Dolphins just made a dumbass decision by sending Jay Ajayi to the fucking 7-1 Eagles. He went from being 3-4 to 7-1, all within one day. So good luck to you know, Jay Ajayi. Dolphins, you got to make better decisions. I don't know who you're gonna hand the ball off to now, but you know, Carolina Panthers. You know, Cam is Cam. Cam got to stop walking out on shit. He says it. He is a sore loser. He'll admit to that, but he does have a responsibility to the press. That's what comes along with the job. Trying to think.
Hey man, when my boy was doing it, I had no gifts about it, so I can't have no gifts about him doing it.
Who are you talking about, Marshawn?
Hell yeah. When my boy was doing it, man, I was rolling laughing like this shit hilarious.
But Cam ain't funny. What it is.
Marshawn didn't want to speak to him.
Yeah, and now he says I'm just here so I don't get fined. Yeah, now he says I'm just here so I don't get fined. So
yeah, but I guess Cam pick and choose who he want to talk to him. So
yeah, well, last bit before we get out of here, man. Justice League is coming out real soon. I feel like Justice League. Either way, I'm going to support it. I don't really care too much for Ben Affleck playing Batman, but
good job as Batman, man.
I don't care too much for him. I'm more so looking forward to see Aquaman because I don't know much about Aquaman. So I like to see, as far as like his impact on it. We've seen Flash. Obviously, you watch that. Oh yeah, Stranger Things 2 was dope. I liked it. I liked season 2. Season 2 was great. What else is going on? Yeah, obviously, you got Arrow, The Flash, all your shows that you watch, man.
Yo, I'm to the point where I wait until the season ends.
Yeah.
To watch them.
Yeah, because I don't like that shit.
I wait what's going on. The only one I might remote watch is Gotham because shit, I don't know why I'd rather watch Gotham.
I'm about to start Gotham.
Watch Gotham week for week, man.
I'm gonna do that today. Actually, today I'm going to start watching Gotham. Gotham will be the series that I get into. I still have to catch up with The Flash. Hell, that was when I was there with you, man, when I first saw The Flash. So trying to see what's going. We got to see what's good with that. But you know what I mean? From
The Flash to me was like kind of boring.
Yeah.
I don't even think I fucking finished watching the last season of Flash.
Damn.
But the Arrow was fucking stupid good.
Yeah, I hope it's better. I hope they got away from that soap opera shit from the third season. I got tired of him and his version of Pepper. All she does is cry every fucking time. Thinks he's going out to die, and he comes back alive. Well, what's the chick name? The blonde chick.
Yeah, that shit ended, bro.
Yeah, Felicity and shit.
Yeah, in this season, the last season I watched was this motherfucker admitted he like killing people, yo.
Good. Then that's what the fuck we need. We need that, man.
He admitted he like hurting and killing people, man, like torturing them. I was like, well, the Arrow's dark and shit now.
Yeah, dark Arrow. Cool, that works. But other than that, man, you got anything else you want to say to the people before we roll the fuck out?
That damn V Crit, man. You be supporting that bullshit out in the streets, go support some real shit.
Alright.
That Wu came out. Cunnilingus came out. I haven't checked it out though, you know what I'm saying? But 21 Savage and Offset, Metro Boomin has some shit come out, but I ain't gonna rock with it, man. I want to because I sample it, but I ain't fucking with 21 Savage, bro. I can't do it, man.
Yeah, 21.
21 Savage, man. That nigga is straight up.
Yeah.
Ultra simp.
Alright, well, from Croombe and Romey-Mak, this is, Romey-Mak 2 Cents presents the Locker Room.
Somebody out there slap 21 Savage to see what he do, yo.
Stupid
I
bitch.
want to see what his heart is.
Yeah, stupid fool, man. We out. Peace.